What's going on, money lovers? This is Vinny from the Investment Club. So today we're going to be talking about Slack. So really quick, if you don't know what Slack is, think about it as a chat room that an entire company can use. It's better than email because it's faster and more efficient, as you can have specific channels where you can drop info on projects or updates in real time. So a couple of Slack's big name customers include the likes of IBM and Shopify, and they also serve many smaller scale organizations. It's a company with a lot of potential as work from home sticks around, and in many cases, it's starting to look more appealing than ever returning to the office. Take a big city like New York City. I have many friends who work there, and they've been told that they're going to be working from home until 2021, maybe even 2022. It's a no-brainer for many companies that can now save a ton of money by avoiding expensive commercial real estate leases. They're also getting more productivity out of their workers. Definitely creates the type of environment where Slack has the potential to thrive. If we look at the charts on Yahoo Finance, you see this company is getting pretty beat up post earnings. And if we look at their revenue, yes, their revenue has increased exponentially in only a few years. But if you watched my last video on how to analyze a stock, which I'll link in the description below, this can be a bad thing as such a high rate of growth is unsustainable. Not to mention that this company is losing money like it's going out of style. If we look at their forecast here, you can see that their revenue has already started to decrease, and they're forecasting that it will continue to decrease in the coming year. It's not what you want to see from a company that's losing a ton of money already. If you like the video so far, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Thank you. While this company brought in $620 million in revenue in 2020, it lost $571 million. That's almost just as much. What good is $620 million in revenue if you're spending double that to make it? This type of cash burn will catch up quick if their growth slows down, which it already has started to. This information comes directly from their annual report. You see that Slack follows a subscription-based model. This is a favorable business model as it enables a company to rely on steady streams of cash flow and income, opposed to a company that sells one product and then that's it. This company can rely on more revenue coming in monthly. Slack has international exposure. They're in over 150 countries. Now, if we look at the bottom paragraph here, it says they've experienced rapid growth in recent periods. Revenue is 630 million, 400 million, 220 million for the past 3 years, and this was annual growth rate of 57% and 82% respectively. They generated net losses for the years ended January 31st, 2020, 2019, 2018 of 571 million, 140 million, and 181 million respectively, which includes $426 million in stock-based compensation. We're talking about a tremendous upswing in stock options compensation for a company that has now posted a profitable quarter, revenue is declining, competition is increasing. I mean, let me know if I'm missing something in the comments below here, but this is a major red flag to me. I mean, I discussed this, case in point, in my last video. You have to determine whether a company has your best interests in mind as a stockholder, or are they just out for the managers and the insiders? If we look at some of Slack's competitors, you see that this is a very crowded space, and you've got Microsoft Teams, Cisco, Jabber. These are probably their two biggest competitors. Then you've got Workplace by Facebook. I mean, these companies can blow up at any time. I've never even heard of the rest of these. Let me know in the comments below if you've used any of these platforms for work and which one you like the best. But this is a very crowded space. It's going to be tough to compete with the likes of Microsoft and Facebook. And who knows, Google any day, they could come out with their own version as well. I mean, they already have Google Classroom. There's no major barrier to entry. They just announced that they'll be offering $750 million in convertible senior notes. This is just taking on more debt. This company has some serious balance sheet issues, and I just cannot get past this stock-based compensation. I mean, stock-based compensation should be for when a company is performing well. So their revenue growth is slowing. They have a history of net losses, and they're anticipating increasing operating expenses in the future. So in summation, I think this is a very crowded space. I think Microsoft is going to be very difficult to compete with in the long term. Slack is really going to be forced to out-innovate Microsoft because Microsoft Teams will eventually, if not already, be able to just offer the same services for cheaper. So then who are people going to go with? And all these issues aside, there's a lot of competition in this space, and I think there's a limit for how much an office communication tool can really grow. They can try and get more clients, but that's going to be difficult because there are already so many other players in the game. They have a good product, but it's not something that's overly difficult for others to provide, as we've seen with Microsoft Teams and how quickly that's taken off. And this is not even to mention the other 20 competitors. So this 50% growth year over year is unsustainable, and I think it's already starting to slow down. and it will continue to slow down. They're going to have to figure out how to cut down their operating expenses, and I just don't see a positive outlook on this company, so I will not be buying. I've seen this pattern before where a company has these crazy growth spurts and they're still losing money. It's going to catch up with them eventually, probably sooner than later. And I've gotten burned in the past when I was chasing the hype and I didn't know any better. Let me know what your thoughts are on Slack and this market in the comments below. That's all for today. This is Vinny from the Investment Club, and I'll see you next time.